My boy! What have they done to my boy? Hey everybody, welcome back. We are here after having reviewed every figure in this wave: Hand Ninja, Frogman, and Into the Spider-Verse versions of the Prowler, Peter B. Parker, Miles Morales, Gwen Stacy, and her cheeky little chum, Spider Pig. Not Spider Pig, Spider Ham. Oh my god, Simpsons, how dare you ingrain that version into our brains forever. Here, however, is the Build-A-Figure. We collected these various bits and pieces over the course of opening the toys to create Wilbur Day, aka the Stilt-Man. At least I think this is Wilbur Day. I know a few people have taken the mantle over the years. Ooh, excuse me. Most recently, of course, Mrs. Stilt-Man. Is it Mrs. Stilt-Man or Miss Stilt-Man? I'm going to look that up really, really quick. Is it Mr. or Mrs.? Anyway, stuff. Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. No. Yeah. This guy is dead. This guy is straight up dead. I didn't realize. He was also married to Princess Python from the Circus of Crime. Well done, mate. Anyway, point is, Stilt-Man comes in several pieces. We got the torso with Gwen Stacy. We got the collar with Miles Morales. We got the head with Peter B. Pack. We got one of the arms with Prowler. We got the other arm with Frogman, and we got the legs, the non-articulated stilty legs with the Hand Ninja, and this handy dandy base, which I feel is going to come in very handy, and indeed dandy. So without further ado, I'm going to stop prattling on. Let's build Stilt-Man and see what he looks like. Never let it be said that Stilt-Man isn't an utter villain. This is the most difficult Build-A-Figure I have ever had to deal with. And you wouldn't think so from how simple the parts are, but let me talk you through why. So, down here, as you'll see, the feet have like these lines in the front, right? Okay, they're not in the design. They are slight cracks in the mold of the plastic. The plastic on the front is well, it's shaky at best. So if you're going to be pegging into the base, bouncing on stuff, be very careful that yours doesn't have these issues and will crack as well. So the legs aren't articulated. You can stand him up straight using the base, and I recommend keeping that base around. Getting the thighs plugged in, it's the sort of, you know, the plug, the thunk, once it's on kind of jobby that a lot of the Build-A-Figures have. So don't get your legs mixed up. It doesn't matter. They're both the exact same mold. That was a nightmare because I thought I was going to damage the crotch joint, the top of the legs. Trying to make it work without pegging them in. While pegging them in. So that was really difficult. Getting the arms in, absolute cinch. They just clicked in so simply. No issues at all. Then I tried the head. The socket and ball joint on the neck kept shifting. The actual space for his inside the head for the ball is quite high up in his head, so it didn't, you know, it took a while to finagle. Managed to get it there in the end, but was on the risk of snapping the poor boy's neck. So we have that. And then came this bloody collar. Now, as soon as I put the head on, I tried to get the collar and I was like, oh god, is this one of those where you need to get the collar on then the head? But the head is like big and cumbersome, so I either struggle to get the head on once the collar's on, or sorry, one second. Bloody hell. Phone call from a spam number. Either get the collar on then struggle to get the head on, or get the head on, finagle the collar, which, you know, is a slightly squishable rubber. Get the head on and then get the collar past it, which is what I opted to do in the end. But to keep the whole framework of the collar and the back on, there is a peg. It's about it's about here underneath, right? Just about there on his back is a hole, so you obviously slot the peg in the hole. But because the collar is a rubber material, the peg kept bending upwards. It wouldn't slot in. I have just had to contort this guy and push against him and struggle so much to get that peg in. It took me 10 minutes to click this one piece in, and I am terrified of moving his upper body lest it pop out again. Could you leave it loose, Chris? I suppose you could, but then his chest's going to be rattling around all the time. His collar's going to be moving around. Oh god, that annoyed me so much. Articulation, none in the legs. Swivel at the thigh, but it doesn't really make a difference. It's only just to help you with the preference of pegs on the base. Waist swivel, crunch at the abs here. Arms are your standard like peg joint in the shoulder, upper arm rotation, double joint at the elbows. He doesn't swivel at the gauntlet. The swivel's just in the hands themselves, and the hands bend inwards and outwards, as do his spare hands, which are gun-holding hands. This one here without the gun, this one here with the gun. Neck is ball joint and peg, and it's a freaking nightmare, as we've ascertained. It's as far as like pulling off Stilt-Man steady on in the Marvel Legends style, they've done a great job. I kind of wish they'd given us alternate legs, you know? Like, if you're going to have Stilt-Man, you're not going to have Stilt-Man displayed without his tall legs. Let's be brutally honest. But if you're a kid playing with these, or, you know, you're a toy photographer, like, or you want to create dioramas, you kind of want the option, right? I'm sure there are custom makers out there who could very, very easily design and make simple plug-on legs for him. But yeah, yeah, not as I don't know. It's a mixed bag. I think he looks very impressive. The sculpt is fun. The metallic sort of paint choice is nice. Let's see how he stacks up against the rest of the wave. Yeah, it's hard to fit everyone into this frame. Blame the tall guy. I just tried to pose him. If you don't use the base, which means you have a very limited movement with him, he falls over like crazy. So Stilt-Man is effectively just a display piece. A cool display piece, but a bit of a nightmare. Not my favourite Build-A-Figure to build, but a fun addition to a collection, especially if you're a Daredevil or like Spidey fan and you want, you know, some of the more B, C tier list villains. He's a fun addition. Overall, the wave. Thoughts on the wave itself? I'm trying to turn the camera and it's having a Barney. Least favourite figure in the wave, no fault of his own really. Peter B. Parker. It's just the delicateness of a lot of his joints, it has me worried. So him being sort of in a simple display pose is the absolute best fate for him. I don't count Spider-Ham as a figure because it's an accessory to Gwen, but he would also be touted as like the weakest in the wave because he's just obviously simply a display piece, albeit a very fun-looking display piece, and they picked the right pose. Giving him a neutral pose would have been boring. Next on the list, in terms of like the most impressive for me, is Prowler. Huge leap above Peter overall. Really nice take. Obviously, he loses some points for his body being a bit more Marvel Legends accurate than Spider-Verse accurate. But that's fine, because he makes for just a fun version of the Prowler. If you want a version of Ultimate Prowler, it's, you know, it'd make for a nice substitute for that. Pretty good take, and his briefcase full of money accessory was a lot of fun. Next one for me personally is the Hand Ninja. Ton of great posability. If you're an army builder, this is great. Again, like alongside Stilt-Man, you're adding to your Daredevil foes here. I kind of hope that they stop people from missing out on the rest of this wave and the Stilt-Man option by announcing a hand army builder soon, similar to the AIM and Hydra ones they've done lately. Maybe with different accessories, so that this one is unique because this one's the one with the sword and the scythes, perhaps, and like the individual one could just have a sword. I don't know, but I like it a lot. It's a very cool figure, and the variety of hands gives you some nice pose options. Next up is Gwen. Bit of a standard one, really. A bit of a standard Marvel Legend. The face could do with a bit more attitude, but it's still a fun sculpt. The fact that it is a wholly original body when I thought it was just a continuation of the Spider-Gwen they'd done before is nice. It shows that they put the time in, and obviously Spider-Pig is an extra accessory as a bonus. I think I'll be displaying her unmasked, because as much as the masked head is a lot of fun. By the way, I managed to get the masked head in a way that made me realise that the mask and the hood are separate pieces. They're just moulded very well together, which means that the masked head sits in the hood quite nicely, but then it means however you're posing her head, it's got a hood attached to it, rather than the comic book Spider-Gwen where you can pose the head and like reattach the hood or what have you, and I don't know, you know what I'm getting at. This is a wonderful figure, and yeah, it's not too bad. Second best for me is Miles. Just the fact that it's a whole sculpt based on the movie version. Masked head is a beautiful sculpt. It's the What's Up Danger figure. Like, that's the best way to describe it. It's him as he looks when he's headed back to the Hadron Collider for the third act of the movie. It's Miles as Spider-Man once he's become a hero in that film. It's a great figure. I wish the unmasked head had slightly more adventurous expression on it. But the detailing is lovely. Just be very careful with his joints. He's a delicate boy. Best figure in the wave for me. And it's Miles. Miles gets a very close second because Miles is an original sculpt. Like, they've put the work in on Miles, right? If the camera will decide that Miles is the focus. There he is. This guy, as we discovered during the review, is a retool of a previous figure. Frogman is a Doc Ock figure with a few additions. But I'll be damned if it isn't a sturdy figure. Like, it's solid, it doesn't feel like the dude's going to break anytime soon. It's big, it's interesting, it sticks the hell out in this wave. Like, my god. And that's with Tall Boy back there. Like, he sticks out. Another accessory might have been good, but I don't know what you'd give him. Really, it does what it says on the tin. The face inside is great. It's hilariously Batman shaped when you take it in profile. It makes me wonder if anyone's going to like customize it, get their very thin paintbrush in there, and give him Deadpool colors around the black of the eyes. I don't know. It's just a really fun figure. Maybe I'm biased because I just enjoyed how kind of dumb it is that we've got a Frogman figure, but to me, he's the best in the wave. If you're a Spider-Verse fan, I recommend picking up this Marvel Legends wave. The 4 Spider-Verse figures, or 4.5, are a great addition to Marvel Legends, and it's cool to see them diving more into the movie territory stuff outside of the already impressive and dope as hell MCU range and everything. It's very cool to see them going, let's do the animated movies, why not? And alongside, obviously, the recent Fox stuff that they've been doing, and the Venom figure and everything. It's like, hey, is the future of Marvel Legends dipping into all sorts of properties? Maybe. Is it worth picking up just as a fan of Marvel Legends? Like, is this a way to prioritize? I'd say no. Overall, it's unless you're into the Spider-Verse, you're not really getting too much out of it. Overall, because Sod's Law, you're not picking up a whole wave for Frogman. Even though I think he's the best figure, you're not picking up a wave for him. And the Hand Ninja is, he's not a specific villain, and unless you're an army builder, you'll probably not want to pick up just the one. You'll get really annoyed that you've only got the one. So, and also, this guy was freaking difficult to snap together without breaking. So, I don't recommend the wave overall, but if you want a Stilt-Man, if you're a big Spider-Verse fan, like, you're obviously going to pick up these guys, and then it's a case of, well, why not get the other two and get a third figure out of the deal? But yeah, not my highest recommend. What about you? What was your favourite figure in this wave? Which one were you most impressed by? Which one were you let down by? And what order were they your favourite? For me, again, first place, Frogman, then Miles, then Gwen, Hand Ninja, Prowler, Peter B. Parker. What about you? Let me know in the comments below. The video is not sponsored by Kapow Toys, but because I pre-ordered off of them, the link to them is in the description should you wish to check out their storefront. They get some really good stuff in, usually at the same time as American pre-orders, which is great for us here in the UK. Also, if you want to buy something off my Amazon wishlist, a toy off my Amazon wishlist, for me to review here on the channel and give you a shout out, then I will. You're under no obligation to do so, of course. I review stuff as and when I get it. Until next time, Stilt-Man out! Literally, because he got killed by the Punisher during Civil War. So that's the thing.